Hello and welcome back to the Trainers of the World Tournament Season 2. I'm your host Delta TDS, and today for match number 37, we've got an interesting match. We've got the Pokemon trainer Ethan going up against the Pokemon Professor Birch. Now, if this match isn't already interesting enough, the winner of this match will be going on to round 2 to face off against the Season 1 champion, the Gym Leader Price. So, a lot of pressure on these two. We can see that Ethan's got the Lugia, as Birch has the 3 Hoenn starters, as well as the Cast form. Once these trainers are ready, we can see who will be taking game number 1 and taking the lead for match 37. Birch starting off with Pelipper and Cast form, Ethan starting off with Ambipom and Pikachu, Pelipper setting up the rain, Cast form switching to the rainy form, switching out to the Torkoal, switching the Cast form going Terra Dragon, Fake Out onto the Torkoal doing 16%, Weather Ball takes out the Pikachu after it just went a Calm Mind. What did I just say? After it just went a Calm Mind. Ethan sending out the Mantine, which I forgot to mention, but is Ethan's ace here. I believe Swampert was Birch's ace. Both aces are water types. Switching out to the Pelipper, switching Cast form again. Cast form going Protect. U-turn from the Ambipom into the Pinsir. Air Slash doing 49% to Pelipper. There's 4 to 7 turns of rain. Ethan swapping out to the Ambipom. Thunder from Cast form with the crit paralyzes the Ambipom, leaving it on 23%. As Pelipper sets up a Tailwind. Pinsir Mega Evolving. Cast form go Protect, Pelipper go for Protect against that Fake Out and the Quick Attack. That's terrifying coming from a Pinsir with the Aerolate ability. Swapping out to the Mantine, Quick Attack takes out the Cast form. Hurricane not enough to take out the Pinsir. As Birch sends out the Swampert. There's 1 turn of Tailwind left, and either 1 to 4 turns of rain left. Swampert Mega Evolving, Ice Punch takes out the Pinsir. Hurricane doing 27% to Mantine. Air Slash does 22% to Swampert, and we do confirm that Pelipper does have that Damp Rock on it. As Ethan sends out the Lugia. Lugia going Terra Psychic, taking that Ice Punch for 9% as it goes for Calm Mind. Air Slash from the Mantine takes out the Pelipper. So these 2 turns of rain are all that's left. Birch sends out the Sceptile. Liquidation doing 40% to Lugia and getting the defense drop. Leaf Blade doing 29% to Lugia as it goes for another Calm Mind. Mantine goes for Agility. There's 1 turn of rain left. Air Slash nearly takes out the Sceptile. Liquidation takes out the Lugia. Leaf Blade with the crit takes out the Mantine. And Ethan's left with 2 Pokemon remaining. That paralyzed Ambipom and that Togekiss. I nearly said Ethan, I don't know why. Ambipom's paralyzed. Leaf Blade takes it out. Air Slash takes out the Sceptile. Ice Punch doesn't take out the Togekiss, but gets the freeze on it. As Birch sends out the Blaziken, Blazikick takes out the Togekiss. And with 3 Pokemon remaining, Birch takes game number 1. We saw the Terra Dragon from Cast form. We didn't see anything from that Torkoal except the Drought ability. We saw Drizzle from the Pelipper as usual. We saw the Life Orb from Blaziken and then the Mega Swampert. From Ethan's side, we saw the Mega Pinsir and the Terra Psychic Lugia. From everything we saw 1 to 2 moves, but not much else that's sticking out. There's probably Technician on Ambipom, but it's only game 1. Ethan does have another game to win to take this to game 3. I said that correctly, but we are back on the field for game number 2. You can see quite a few new Pokemon. Birch has the Hisuian Typhlosion, the Linoon, the Camerupt on his team, going more of a sunny approach, as Ethan's got the Kingler, the Lantern, which is his ace, on his team. Once these trainers are ready, we can begin game number 2 and see if Ethan can take this to a game number 3 or if Birch takes this match 2-0. Starting off with the Blaziken and Linoon, Ethan starts off with Lugia and Pinsir. Pinsir Mega Evolving, Blaziken go and protect, Double Edge takes out the Linoon. Lugia goes for Psychic into that Blaziken's protect as it gets a speed boost. Birch sends out the Typhlosion, frisking the leftovers on Lugia, and thank God we found it, frisking the Pinsir on the Mega Pinsir. The jig is up for Pinsir. Blaziken going Terra Rock, Quick Attack doing 42% to Typhlosion, Heat Wave taking out the Pinsir, Blaziken burning the Lugia, Psychic doing 44% to Blaziken, Lugia healing from the leftovers and getting hurt from the burn. Blaziken getting another speed boost. Close Combat takes Lantern down to 1%. Heat Wave finishes off that Lantern. Lugia with Recover recovers up to 92%. Blaziken goes for another Protect from that Fake Out. Heat Wave doing 58% to Ambipom. Typhlosion's down to 23% from that Psychic. Blaziken is super fast but super frail right now. If my Pokemon don't have free will, but I also don't have free will, are my Pokemon controlling me? Or is the universe playing Pokemon through my body? Ethan switching out to the Kingler, Blaziken missing. Heat Wave doing quite a bit to Ethan's team. Psychic taking out the Typhlosion, and Torkoal coming out, setting up the sun. Pikachu coming out here. Psychic taking out the Blaziken. Earth Power not enough to take out the Pikachu. Birch sending out the Camerupt. It's currently 4v3 right now. Camerupt's gonna Mega Evolve. Discharge not hitting that Camerupt, taking out the Lugia, paralyzing the Torkoal. Heat Wave taking out the Pikachu, and it's just down to Ambipom and Kingler for Ethan. Camerupt's going for Protect. Fake Out gonna land on that Torkoal. Liquidation hits that Protect. Torkoal flinches. Ambipom going at Terra Normal. Tail Slap taking out the Torkoal. Liquidation takes out the Camerupt, and it's all down to Cast Form. Can this boy pull it off? That's a no, Chief. And Ethan, with 2 Pokemon remaining, takes game number 2, which means we're on to game number 3. We unfortunately didn't see more from that Cast Form. We saw nothing from the Linoon. It got taken out. We saw the Terra Rock on Blaziken, the Life Orb. We saw Typhlosion with Heat Wave, probably with the Choice Scarf with how fast it was going. Maybe. And the Drought on Torkoal, but we also saw that from game 1. From Ethan's side, we didn't see anything from that Lantern. And again, 1 to 2 moves from each of Ethan's Pokemon, as well as the Terranormal on the Impalm. And we are back on the field for game number 3. Unlike last match, we are actually here at a game number 3. I think the last match was 36, Tobias and Jesse. Maybe. If it's not, editor, cut this out. We can see that Birch has a more rain-focused team with Swampert, Ludicolo, Hisuian Samurott, Pelipper, Cacturn, and that cast form shining once again. As Ethan brought the Donphan and the Executor. Once these trainers are ready, we can see who's moving on to face the TWT champion Bryce. Birch starting off with Pelipper and Cacturn, Ethan starting off with Ambipom and Executor. Cacturn going for Protect against that Fake Out, Pelipper goes for Tailwind, Executor goes for Calm Mind. Cacturn goes for Terra Ghost, Triple Axle taking Cacturn down to a quarter. Hurricane doing 60% to Ambipom, Knockoff takes out the Executor and reveals that Citrus Berry. Ethan sends out the Donphan. Cacturn goes for Spiky Shield, Triple Axle taking Pelipper down to 60%. Surf takes out the Ambipom, nearly takes out the Donphan as Donphan sets up the Stealth Rocks. Ethan sends out the Lugia now. I can hear my cat screaming in the hallway. Discuss that Berry. Let's Donphan move first, flinching the Pelipper with Rock Slide. Cacturn's down to 16%. Knockoff takes off Lugia's leftovers. Psychic takes out the Pelipper. Tailwind peters out. And Birch sends out the Ludicolo now. Donphan goes for Helping Hand. Sucker Punch takes Lugia down to 39%. Surf not enough to take out Lugia, but it does take out the Donphan. Aeroblast takes out the Ludicolo. It's 3v4 as Ethan sends out the Pinsir. Birch sends out the Samurott. There's 3 turns of rain remaining before it's no weather left for the rest of this match. I think, unless one of these have Rain Dance. Pinsir Mega Evolves, Cacturn goes Spiky Shield, Flip Turn takes out the Lugia, swapping Samurott into Swampert. Double Edge just 74% to Swampert. Pinsir being left with 63% from that recoil. And Ethan sends out the Kingler, his last Pokemon. Swampert Mega Evolving, going for Protect. Quick Attack does 47% to Cacturn. Liquidation hits that Protect. Seed Bomb takes out the Kingler. And it's just Pinsir versus the world here. Going for Spiky Shield. Quick Attack takes out the Swampert. The rain ends. And Birch sends out the Cast Form now. Quick Attack with the crit takes out the Cacturn. Thunder with the crit takes out the Pinsir. And Cast Form for the win takes game number 3, which means Birch is our winner for match number 37, and he will be the one to go on to round 2 and take on the TWT Season 1 champion, the Johto Gym Leader Price. Join us tomorrow where we'll be seeing the Pokemon Trainer Victor going up against the Security Corps Zissou. I'm gonna be honest, Victor is one of the most terrifying trainers in this tournament, so look forward to that. But thank you so much for watching, and until then, take care.